Hello student friend. Today we are going to discuss about polymers. This is the third unit of our advanced material course. So let us begin with advanced polymer materials as a engineering material, and polymers are nothing but plastics. Now, what are the different types of plastics? What are the properties of these plastics? And how they are classified and where these plastics are used, that part we are going to discuss in today's lecture. So let us start with one by one. What things you know about these polymers? Now, being a student of engineering, you must know about the physics of plastics, chemistry of plastics, properties of different plastics, their processing, and the applications of various plastics. So now, where we'll find these plastics? Almost 80% of products are made from a plastic, and these variety of applications of plastic includes food packaging items, then transportation components, electronic components, construction components, clothing, medical supplies, then household components and components of laptop and PC. Now, if you see these photographs of different parts which are specifically made from variety of plastics, and these plastics find uh, more use in industrial application, domestic application, some high-tech applications. That's why we must know the different types of plastics and their properties. So let us start with the introduction part. Polymers are the organic material having long chain molecules composed of many mers, and mers means a building block of long chain. It may be C2H4, for example, in polyethylene, and this compound of hydrogen and carbon, sometimes it may have oxygen also, nitrogen also, or silicon also. Then this many plastics are extensively used because of their high ductility and high formability. As compared to metals and ceramic, plastics are having low weight as well as the low cost. But if you compare the strength wise, plastics are having low strength as compared to metal and low melting point, as well as higher chemical reactivity as compared to ceramic materials. So after knowing this, though having these many properties, still plastics are used as an important engineering material for a variety of applications. Why these plastics are used for a variety of applications? Because plastics can be formed by molding process into intricate parts, intricate shapes, and usually these formation takes very small operations and require very less operations to get a final finish shape. On volumetric basis, polymers are cost competitive with metals, as well as they requires less energy to produce a finished product as compared to the metals. Certain plastics are translucent or transparent, and this nature or this specific property makes them competitive with glass for some applications. Now, these plastics are mainly classified on the basis of different criteria, and these criteria are: number one, polymers are classified on the basis of their origin, then second on the basis of their physical behavior, third on the basis of their structure and architecture, fourth on the basis of their function and application, fifth on the basis of polymerization mechanism, sixth is on the basis of polymerization chemistry, and seventh is on the basis of cost. Now, these criteria are mainly used to classify the existing polymers. Now, we'll see one by one. On the basis of their origin, there are two families of polymers, biological polymers and synthetic polymers. Here the biological polymers are called as the natural polymers, and synthetic polymers such as polyamide, polystyrene, they are called as these natural polymer, and these are man-made polymers. Okay. Next is polymers are again classified on the basis of their physical behavior. So there are two main groups that are thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Now these thermoplastics are further classified on the basis of their application, say application in engineering, application for commodity products, and special applications. So on the basis of their behavior, this is a classification. We'll see detailed one by one. Now thermoplastic polymers are also called as TP, that means thermoplastics. Some thermoplastics are solid materials at room temperature, but they are viscous or liquid in temperature above certain 100 degrees. These characteristics allows them to be easily and economically shaped into useful products. The polymers can be subjected to heating and cooling cycles repetitively without significant degradation. So this is the specialty of these thermoplastics. And what special examples of these thermoplastics are polystyrene, polyvinyl chloride, we call it as a PVC, then polypropylene, polystyrene, and nylon. These are the popular names of thermoplastics which are used for many applications. Then thermosetting plastics or thermosets, they are shortly named as TS. They cannot tolerate repeated heating, same as that of the thermoplastics. So that means when initially heated, they get softened and allowed to flow in a molding, but after reaching to elevated temperature, they produce some chemical reaction that hardens the material into infeasible solid. If again reheated, thermoset degrade or they burn, but they don't soften, same as that of the thermoplastics. So common examples of these thermosetting plastics are phenolics, epoxies, polyesters. Next is polymers are again classified on the basis of their structure and architecture. Now here the schematic represents the classification. Number 1 is linear polymer, number 2 is branched polymer, number 3 is cross-linked polymer, number 4 is network polymer. Now let us see the difference between these different structure. So linear polymers means they are having a long chain structure. Branched polymers means they are having a long chain structure, but at some places they are having branches of some other atoms of either hydrogen or other oxygen or nitrogen, etc. Then cross-linked polymers means here you are observing the long chain of molecules or monomers, but these long chains are joined, cross-linked at different locations, and they form a two-dimensional structure having a surface. Then network polymers means here the chain of monomers is joined together in 3 directions. So they form a 3D structure, 3D network. So these polymers are named as a network polymer. Now this major molecular architect again further classify each of them into different types, and this schematic represents the further classification of this structure architecture of polymers. And here you will observe a phenolic, flexible coil, rigid rod, cyclic or closed linear structure. Likewise the other structures also. So if you observe, you will find that in polymers, this is the nature of forming the different structure of different monomers, and this structure assigns different properties to that polymer, and as per the requirement of application, as per the functional requirement of a part, the polymers are allowed to form this cross-linking or this structure, so that they can gain the property and fulfill the requirement of application. Next is a classification on the basis of function. Now we are using a popular polymers in any form, you can say ready to use for different applications. Now first type of polymer is a fiber. Now what we mean by fiber? Fiber is a part having length to diameter ratio greater than 100 unit. Now these fibers are primarily used in textile. Now what is the characteristics of these fibers? They are having high tensile strength, high degree of crystallinity, and structure containing a polar groups. Now these fibers are manufactured by a spinning process, where the extruded polymer through a spinneret, that means a die containing a small holes in large number, and they are passed through this die and stretched by a tension, and the final product is a fiber of polymer. These fibers are widely used. Then a second category of product of polymer is a coating. Now thin polymer film is applied on the surface in the form of paints or varnishes. Now to protect the surface from corrosion and degradation is the main objective, or to decorate the surface to improve the appearance, or to apply some electrical insulation on the metallic material. So that may be the cause of applying this coating of polymers on the part. Then next form of polymer is adhesive. Now here the purpose of applying the adhesive is to bond two solid materials together. Now two types of bonding is there: secondary bonding by using a van der Waals forces, and mechanical bonding that penetrates into the pores or crevices, so that we will get a mechanical firm bonding between the solid materials. Then we can have another form of polymer, that is film. Now these films are applied on the different parts, and they are manufactured by blown film extrusion process. Then another form of polymer is a foam. Then gas bubbles are incorporated into the plastic material to form their foams, and they are used for application. Then on the basis of polymerization process, polymers or plastics are classified in two groups, that is chain growth polymer and step growth polymer. Now chain growth polymers, here the rapid chain reaction takes place during the formation of polymer process. Here number of monomers gets joined together to form the long chain polymer. Here this process initiates by a initiator named as hydroxyl free radical, which is a reactive atom or group of atoms containing unpaired electrons. They get introduced into the long chain, and they forms a the chain grow for a longer length, and the growth of this chain gets terminated by another hydroxyl free radical, which is again similar to the initiator, but when it gets attached, the growth of the chain polymer stops, and this process is called as chain polymer process. Then step growth polymer is the example of polymerization process, where the three molecules rapidly gets connect with each other to form the molecule. Here this process is also named as condensation process, as the water atom participate in the formation of this process. So this